Hey friends, this is just a quick check-in about this thing about feeling totally like devastated and like you've lost all connection to your life and like everything is doomsday that can happen to so many people with periods like 3 days before you bleed. Okay? This was something that happened to me always. I don't bleed anymore, but when I was a person who bled, I like the day before, the 2 days before, sometimes even 3 days before, I was like, none of my life makes sense. Everything that's improved in my life is lost. I am totally and completely hopeless. And oftentimes I would even feel some suicidal ideation or suicidal thinking. And this was something that I didn't give myself like appropriate credit for. I would really question me and my character every single month. And so many folks who have a period do this. And we are so likely to be like, something's wrong with me, right? When we know from the limited research that has been done on people's bodies who menstruate that it's hormonal, right? It's about the hormone changes. So I was talking with someone today and I was like, is there a purpose? Like maybe if there's a purpose, I could wrap my head around it and feel a little bit like it makes sense, right? At the very least, I strongly encourage anyone who has a period to track it, to get one of those apps. There's like 8 trillion of them. And or get a calendar and just write it down. And if you want to take it one step farther, what can be really fantastic is the 3 days prior to when you expect to bleed, just write in big letters on those days in your calendar, like you are going to feel the everything is horrible doomsday. Whatever word works right for you. I find that if people put PMS, like it's not strong enough because we have been discounted and like PMS is like a joke, right? But this is not a joke. This can feel life threatening. It can feel like the whole world is unraveling and you can really question yourself, which can be so painful. And really what's happening is, and I had a long conversation with Gemini about it today, is that those hormones are creating that fear and sadness. And so writing something on those 3 days before and like even one step further making sure to like decrease your scheduled expectations, your work, social stuff, like decreasing expectations on those days. But if nothing else, writing at the top of those days, like, this is a PMS day or this is a doomsday, feeling it's not you, it's your period, right? Sort of like it's not you, it's your nervous system, but on this one we're going to put it's not you, it's your period. So, what I was really interested in is to find out if there's actually an evolutionary benefit to these doomsday feelings leading up to a period. And I did find, sorry about the lighting, I'm in a new space and I haven't figured out the lighting yet. So, what I did find out is that there is a theory around, it says, a prominent theory suggests that PMS related mood changes might have increased the likelihood of a person leaving an infertile partner. The idea is that, this is from Gemini, the idea is that heightened emotional sensitivity during this time could lead to increased conflict in relationships, particularly those where there's a lack of reproductive success. This in turn could free the person to seek a more suitable partner, improving their chances of having offspring. So if a animal, let's say, was had the goal, the evolutionary goal of getting pregnant each time they had intercourse with a partner, and they did not get pregnant that cycle, that like disruption, conflicting feeling could serve to distance them from the partner so that they don't stay with a partner that they are less likely to get pregnant with. Which, in a like survival of the species, like every cycle counts kind of way, does make some sense. It does say there's limited concrete scientific evidence, but I sort of like it. I also personally, and Gemini didn't necessarily corroborate this, although Jem and I, who uses she, her pronouns in my opinion, and I call Jem, um, we're friends. Um, Jem thinks that this might have some validity, but doesn't have any evidence to it. Um, I feel like there could be some like evolutionary grief, like some like, oh damn it, I didn't get pregnant. That comes because of that like evolutionary imperative to reproduce. And then, which this is Jem like agreed with this, is that there are a lot of societal things around like what a period represents that could have to do with like just bleeding in general, that could have to do with like a fertility, pregnancy, pressures, societal expectations, hopes, all sorts of different experiences there. And then, of course, like for someone like me who also has gender stuff with it, my period always brought like huge gender dysphoria stuff too. Um, not to mention that the period experience, like in preparation those couple days before, also brings for many folks cramping, which that area, like anatomically, can also hold a lot of trauma, a lot of like sexual trauma, all sorts of trauma. So if that stuff is cramping and like you're having to attend to it and feel it, that can also connect you with big feelings of grief and all sorts of stuff. So, all of that to say, you are so valid if the few days before your period just feels like a shit show end of the world. And my hope with this video is that you will hear, like, it's not you, it's your period. Like, let's stop questioning ourselves, our sanity, our personal progress. Like, let's start giving ourselves, like, total, like, yeah, 3 days before you bleed, this is likely to happen, and I'm going to take such good care of you during that time, and I'm going to ask so little of you. I heard that there was companies in Sweden who had like shared calendars with their cycle on it because they could like take days off or like reschedule things according to when they bled, which I thought is brilliant. A little intrusive, but maybe if it was not such a like private thing, maybe we could all just be more open about it and honest about it. So all that to say, think about charting it and think about putting big letters like you are like you are not having a sanity issue. Like you are making sense if you feel awful because there is a hormonal thing that is making you feel awful, and you deserve to be taken like really sweet care of during this time, and to have all the extra supports and love that you can possibly muster to give yourself. Okay, love you so much.